Hey, how's it going, everyone? So today is, what is it? It's Monday. It's race week. We're going to be out at Calabogie Motorsports Park for the end of the season Lucky Dog doubleheader. So 2 races, 8 hours each. If you're following the channel for the past little while, you probably know about this car, number 707, our RSX. It's at Driven for some maintenance work. We're trying to get the front end dialed in a little bit better, make it also a lot more, what's the term? Sustainable? No, not quite right. More reliable. Let me just do a quick walk around about what makes this car so quirky, especially when it comes to handling. Okay, now so we are taking a look at the front wheel well of the RSX, taking a look at how the suspension works. So folks who are familiar with the DC5, same as the EP3 front suspension, you'll know that it has these steering arms that connect to the strut body about mid-strut. And the issue with this is it is extremely prone to bump steer if you don't get the toe settings right, and where this arm actually attaches onto the strut in terms of the vertical spacing. And so the issue is the arm that controls the steering to make you go left and right, which is why this part, when it grabs onto the strut, it's kind of grooved so that it doesn't just like spin. This is also how you adjust the toe for the car. So as you can imagine, as the suspension is moving up and down, it's very possible for this toe curve to be bouncing all over the place, positive and negative. So that makes for a pretty interesting ride. So the bodywork obviously is looking a little bit worse for wear. At Shannonville, we actually lost one of our side skirts on this side. I actually don't know if the other side is still there, but to be honest, we probably won't bother putting those back on. To be honest, I don't even know where the other one is, so we may just pop the other one off on the driver's side as well to make it balance. One of the nicer parts about this car is this big brake kit that we had custom made. It uses a 4-pot AP Racing CP8350, I believe, caliper, and these 299 diameter rotors. The interesting about this AP brake kit is that it actually came off of my FRS. That's the one thing about all the cars that we've been building, is that we just get pretty much the exact same components as much as we can. That way, you know, the pad shape for these are extremely common, and we can basically put them on any car that we want, mix and match. I always have some spares available.
So I got tires, it's coming in, and then
I might steal the old ones then for the GTI because the tire's so whack. And then
I had G-Spec drop ship me it's coming tomorrow, because the ones that I ordered, they sold it.
They sold what? The arms?
The toe links.
Oh, okay. That's like this entire arm here, right? Like here?
Yeah, the inner one. So the one I'm getting is longer.
Okay.
So we can run more camber and then.
Yeah. So why is this your favorite car to work on?
The RSX?
Yeah.
Because it's simple.
Is it?
Yeah, it's actually really simple.
Okay.
Yeah. Really simple. I mean, as you can see, the cars that we work on, nothing's ever simple, but simple.
Honda's is simple.
Honda's is simple. They make good power. If they're set up properly, they're really competitive. So
yeah,
we're hoping to get the setup dialed in with these toe arms.
Yeah.
So we can.
And that's just to get us more the camber that we need.
Yeah, I think so. I think the tire from the last event probably delaminated just because this wasn't enough camber. Oh. I'm hoping to lower the car, but suspension's not allowing me to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rear, I need a longer spring in the rear.
Oh, okay.
To lower it some more. The front's fine, but the rear I need a longer spring, so I'll just leave it. Yeah. Instead of putting like the ducts on the brake ducts, you should just put it on the transmission, you know?
That's okay. That's true, eh?
Blast like the housing so it cools down, you know? I don't know, just a food for thought, but it was fine at Shannonville, so I think it should be okay this time around. Bogey should be what, 3rd, 4th the whole time?
Oh, we're gonna need 5th.
5th?
I think even what is it? This is the 4.7 inside right now, right?
Yep.
I think we'll still need 5th. That's why we want to get this lockout thing fixed.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we were discussing, one of the issues that we've been having with the RSX is when it comes to major mechanicals, the transmission tends to be the first thing to go. And we spent time this year opening up the case on multiple occasions just to make sure that the tolerances were good, and been playing with different fluids to get the right mixture so that it can manage the heat. Actually, one of the things that we did buy this year was essentially a custom kit that we put together to do a transmission cooler. However, it does take quite a bit of time to kind of get together, and honestly, we really haven't had our stuff together to make the time to put it in there, so we've kind of been just rolling the dice every single time. Hopefully it still hangs in there for Calabogie, because at Shannonville it seemed to have done fine both days. No problems with the transmission, shifts very smoothly, so we're fingers crossed that Calabogie is going to be the same. We got 6 new RS4s coming in, and as you can see, endurance racing is pretty tough on these tires, big chunks. Not as bad as the one that was completely delaminated. I'll try to get a photo of that for you guys from the Shannonville race, but yeah, this entire block on the outside, basically all the way around 2 inches, just pure cord. But that was the result of having a suspect alignment issue that basically, like, we were pretty certain that the toe was out in the car. So Matt, you joining the Rotary life? Your first Rotary?
Yeah. Never thought I'd buy that car.
There you are.
The offer came up.
Hey, I know that
recognize that car. The offer came up and I couldn't refuse. So I was like, yeah, screw it, why not?
Yeah, it's a cool car. And right here is Matt's new RX-8. This RX-8 actually belonged to a good friend of ours, but he just has a really bad habit of never finishing his project cars. So they just parked here to rot, and luckily this one found a good home. All right, another modification that we purchased for this time around is a Bimmer World front defroster kit. And now you might be wondering, why do you need this in an endurance racing car? And to be honest, it's gonna look pretty funky having all those lines across the front, but let me just show you this clip from a race from a couple of years ago and you'll know exactly why. Now, as you can see, it's pretty crazy when it's raining, and the main issue is with these gutted race cars, you typically end up removing the HVAC system, which includes the blower for the front windshield. So in conditions where it's super humid, it's just rained, there's a huge heat differential between the interior of the car, and of course we don't have the cowls in the engine bay, so the heat's just like dumping up into the glass. It can create some pretty hazardous situations where, to be honest, like that year, like we basically just stopped sending the car out because you just couldn't see anything. Okay, so that's gonna be it for this one. Really short, just to get things ready and kicked off for race week. Lots more coverage to come throughout the entire weekend. Hopefully give you guys a behind the scenes of everything that's going to be happening with Team Part Out, supported by Driven Autosport. See you guys later.